I'm Mr. Hughes and I'm the head of maths at Rycroft Middle School. Sadly, you're not able to come and do a visit to the school at the moment, but the idea now is that I can maybe talk you through the way we'd like to approach maths at school, the kind of things we try and cover, and how we look after your children while they're here. So, firstly, our approach to maths is based on giving pupils a really confident and positive attitude. It's trying to change that mindset. There can be some negativity and a real difficulty understanding how maths connects to everyday life. So we really focus on a range of approaches where we try and provide as many practical apparatus and as many visual aids to help to show how maths can be made physical and fun and things that you can handle and work with, and also connect it to everyday life, providing a context to maths, showing how the skills that we learn in maths can be useful in your career, outside of school, and really give those practical examples that allow pupils then to connect with the subject and see the value in it. The way that we try and implement this in lessons is to follow a structure based on fluency, which is practicing the usual kind of sums and steps that you'd maybe expect from maths, but also a reasoning and a problem-solving approach. And these are built on then applying skills instead of just practicing basic skills, applying them in, as I've said before, a range of contexts and situations, but also following our mastery approach, we try to use a lot of variation so that we're not just getting a one-dimensional set of lessons. They're actually trying skills in lots of different situations and different ways of visualizing and seeing and using the skills. We also, in lesson, really try and encourage pupils to grasp and hold on to the idea that a mistake in maths isn't a bad thing. It's such a preset attitude that we can't get things wrong. Maths is all about right and wrong. So the way we try and implement the maths approach is to use a set of approaches in lesson so that it's not just one-dimensional. They're not just working on sums as you would usually see them in a traditional sense. We work through a series of skills involving fluency, which is practicing sums but in slightly different arrangements, but also focusing a lot on reasoning and problem solving, where they then get to apply the skills in lots of contexts and lots of different situations. And this supports the mastery approach that we've adopted over the last few years and we're currently still working on. A big part of that is variation. So pupils don't just see a sum in an abstract form. As you can see, there's the equipment out. They can see a pictorial version, they can see a physical version, and then they're good at then applying to different contexts. And it creates a lot more resilience. And some of the key things that we're trying to work on is, with pupils' mindset, is to focus on that resilience and perseverance, and also trust in lesson, because we're trying to get them to really grasp and make the most of the idea that you can learn from mistakes, get things wrong, discuss and share the ideas, and be confident at being wrong, and work together as a community in the lesson to encourage, to improve in certain areas, and to just move on from mistakes and learn from them, but look at them as a positive, because the more mistakes they make, the harder they're trying, the more they're learning, and it's always the case that that really has a good effect on their outcomes. We then measure the impact of our teaching in a lot of different ways, again, to try and suit all pupils. We use assertive mentoring and White Rose assessments to do regular checks on skills, but also to do a general, build up a general picture of the progress they're making over the year. Are they just picking up skills at the time that it's been taught, or are they managing to retain and recall those skills later on, which shows better understanding? We also use My Maths and Times Table Rockstars online to try and give another dimension to the lessons, and that's something people really engage with and enjoy taking part in. That helps in lesson, homework, and recently the homeschooling that's had to take place. We try and make the lessons as interactive as possible. We've got the whiteboards around the school, and as I've already mentioned, the equipment. So it really does allow pupils to learn from whatever angle and whatever skill and background that suits them best. But overall, the idea with our extracurricular activities that go on, trips, and all of these approaches, is that we can try and build a nice positive environment. Pupils feel safe, they enjoy the lesson, and they can have fun as well as learn and maybe get a slightly more positive view on the subject and hopefully do really well. So that's the aim at Ryecroft. Thanks for listening.